Calibrations are just starting to come to the forefront. And if you think about what we're doing today as a business, no one's taken the leap to build any software related to help the industry manage the 7 moments of truth. Again, I will tell you, I've talked to hundreds of companies that are either getting into the business, wanting to get into the business, are in the business. None of them have a good solution in terms of how does it help me manage all steps in the process, drive the process, and give me what I need. So let's talk about what we believe the proper software should be for an ADAS services and calibration business. Well, number one, it needs to help their customers and themselves identify and locate ADAS technologies, triggers, and required calibrations. Number two, it should help their customers, the shops, educate the consumer about the ADAS on their cars. Number three, we talked about this in repair planning. It should help the shop create better, faster, and more accurate repair plans. Step number four, it should make it easy for the customer, the shop, to do business with the ADAS service and calibration company. Number five, it should manage all workflows. Number six, it should generate and share and store detailed documentation for all aspects of the workflow and business. It's our belief that any documentation that the ADAS service provider adds into their file, the customer, the shop should have the exact same information at the exact same time. And of course, last but not least, it needs to help them operate a successful business. So let's talk about, again, something we've worked on. If you're going to accurately identify, communicate, and then share this information with repair planning, you got to do it early. And so our world is you scan the VIN, you get the information, you identify what's on the vehicle, you identify the calibration triggers, and now you go to work. Now you go to work. Now you have that information in front of you before I even start the repair plans. Again, if I don't use a mobile app and I'm working on a web portal, again, I want to identify the components, the locations, the type of calibrations required. And I want to do that in seconds. I don't want to do it in 30 minutes and 20 minutes. I want to do it in seconds. And then I also, if I'm going to do this properly, I want to know all the position statements related to ADAS and calibrations for that manufacturer. I want easy access to that manufacturer's information systems. I want easy access to videos. I want easy access to that OEM's owner manuals. So again, that's the kind of information you need upfront to help that shop educate the consumer, sell more ADAS services, write a better and accurate repair plan. So that's step one. Step two, and this is where, because of the 80% that don't have the space, our industry, in our opinion, is going to operate as a hub and spoke when it comes to ADAS services and calibrations. So what does a hub and spoke model mean? Let me use, I could either use any one of the consolidators. Caliber's bought a company called ProTech. Gerber bought a company called Mobile Auto Solutions. Crash Champions has bought a company. Classic has bought a company. Joe Hudson has bought a company. They all have gone out and acquired companies to specifically perform ADAS services and calibrations in their marketplaces. So I want you to think about that. The five of the biggest organizations in North America have said, nope, we're going to acquire expertise and we're going to manage ADAS services and calibration different than in our collision centers. For those of you who are on this call, if that doesn't send you a message, it should. And so when you look at those models, it's a hub and spoke model, which means I've got 10 stores in an area. I've got an organization in that area that's servicing those 10 stores or 12 stores or 5 stores. Or if I'm my own MSO and I've got 5 stores, why wouldn't I create my own hub and spoke for those 5 stores with a company that's supporting those 5 stores? And so if the world is going to be a hub and spoke model, you need a software platform that handles a hub and spoke model. And today in North America, there is only one platform that does that, and that's our Calibration Copilot platform. And so the idea is you connect the stores with the hub. And all of the communication, all of the documentation, everything that goes on between the customers and the shop happens in the same platform. and it allows that platform, that organization to be local, regional, or national. It allows that hub to create and manage their own customers, create and manage their own services, description, pricing, and discounts, automate invoicing, manage technicians, manage dispatching, go through the list here. Because again, if 80% of our industry doesn't have the space, I got to have someone to do the work for me, and it's going to end up to be a hub and spoke model. It's got to handle supplements, because remember, a shop may send, I want one ADAS calibration, and by the way, our stats tell us the average vehicle needs 1.7 calibrations, so I need to manage those supplements. I got to share documentation. I got to provide detailed documentation. I need to integrate with CCC all data on other third-party apps. I need operational and financial management as well. So again, if I'm going to be in the business, I need a software platform. All right. And so that's the piece of getting the work done. And then the last step is, and this floors me, by the way, because I started this journey on this type of software over 2 years ago. How can any organization look a customer in the face, give them the keys to an ADAS equipped vehicle without providing them with validation and documentation? They accurately tested, they validated those ADAS systems operate before they give the keys back to the consumer. I'm still dumbfounded by our industry that isn't doing that. So our belief is you need a third platform. You need ADAS safety system verification software. And that means, number one, providing OEM ADAS verification procedures that tells the user how to verify the systems operate as they're supposed to. You need to record that drive. And then you need to document that the systems passed, failed, or weren't on the vehicle. And then you need to provide the customer, whether it's the shop who's your customer or the consumer who's the customer, you need to provide them with documentation that what you actually did worked. I actually did take the car for a test drive. I actually did check everything off. It actually did pass or fail. So again, to me, I'm still dumbfounded by our industry who's delivering ADAS equipped vehicles after repair, after calibration, and they're not giving the customer validation that they tested it. And here's what they're going to say. Well, I got no DTCs and my calibration equipment said it was okay. Sorry, just because there are no DTCs and just because the calibration equipment says it's okay does not mean that vehicle software or ADAS safety systems are going to operate as designed. Does not mean that at all. And so if you're not validating the vehicle operates as designed after repair, shame on you.